Good morning and welcome to Frank's School. Once again, I have a black cat right there by the camera. He'll probably get up. So you may see a black blob there. Anyway, this is the 7th year, 102nd day, first video. And this is my December update. I'm doing monthly updates of my progress toward getting ready for a movie that could be made here, which I'd almost say probably never will be made, but I'm still making the set. And I'll do this up until April 1st, I would say. And April 1st, I think of that as Blossoming Day. So I've said this before. So much I'm just getting ready. But by April 1st, all of a sudden I could have help and stuff could go fast. I thought maybe I should call it Bloom Day. Or how about Bloomsday? You hear a lot about Doomsday. How about Bloomsday? Well, because in a way it would be like all this preparations, like the winter bud on a tree or a plant. And then when the time's right, it can go. Now, big news for me, if it's true, is Entropia, a book I should have gotten it here to hold up to show you. But anyway, I've read it twice, and I was pretty excited about Entropia. I think it was well written. Samuel Alexander, he remains possibly the best writer I know of within the realm of degrowth. He has his doctorate. He lives in Australia. Anyway, I'd said earlier, he sold the rights to his book to a television company, I think in California, and they were going to come out with. I didn't know if it was a series or what, but anyway, I saw a post by John DeGraff, who is a filmmaker himself. He's made over 40 films, I think. And very environmentally conscious films. So the really famous one was one of his first ones, Affluenza. But anyway, he posted that it's coming soon as a TV movie. Boy, I hope that's true. I wrote down an answer to my prayers, because in a way, my movie wouldn't be necessary. I'm just doing my part because it just seemed like such a barren landscape of filmmakers willing to tackle this problem other than documentaries. This would not be a documentary. This is fiction. And it would be wonderful. Now, I'll keep going anyway, because what I'm doing, I would do with or without my film, which I call Resurrection. And I'm thinking about changing the name to Hope. But anyway, that would be wonderful. I hope it's true. I'll probably contact John DeGraff and say, do you know something I don't know? Because I couldn't find any news about its imminent production. In the meantime, here, the race now, to the extent it's a race, it's a slower race now, is to do various things before the ground freezes solid. Once the ground freezes solid, anything laying on the ground, like a board laying on the ground, or especially concrete block or stone, it's gripped by that freezing ground, and it's just not worth it to wrestle it free. So a lot of my time is getting material that I have up off the ground onto pallets. So I'm doing that a lot. Fences help. My son, we haven't completed the fencing, but he went to electric fencing. I insisted he not use posts made of poisoned wood, which is what I call, what everybody else, what's the word for, euphemistically calls treated wood. Well, it's treated with poison, green copper sulfate or something. I said, you're not using any money of mine to buy that stuff. And I came up with posts anyway, between posts that they'll rot away. I know they will. They'll not last so much, but that's the way wood is in the ground. But anyway, he really, I want to say busted ass, and built a lot of fence, and those fences are helping so much. But I needed all these curtains. Well, I mean gates. Well, it occurred to me that I had the material for the gates. I just don't have the time to build the gates and hang them and swing them. And so what we've done is we've hung that material with a stretcher on the top. It's woven wire fence. Woven wire fence. And they hang like steel curtains, but they're electrified, and they work fine. And it's not at all hard to just lift them off the hanger, go through and hang them back again. Eventually, I'll do a video especially about that, I think, because that is just so useful, because they're doing the job. I will get around to building all those gates and hanging them. But in the meantime, that works fine, and what a difference that makes. Now it's December. I don't know what it is. December, is it 10th yet? Oh, it might be December 9th, I think. Anyway, it's getting into December, and you know, a very big concern of mine is winter shelter. Not so much for me and my family, we're fine, but for my animals. And I have to stop what I'm doing now and then to throw myself into that, because I had a bunch of baby goats born, and they the cold was not so much the enemy to them, but some of the mothers were young, and I think they were not ready. I don't know. I lost some, but the herd is slowly growing. So the baby goats were born, and I really had to throw all my attention into doing what I could to make sure that they would be okay. I have electricity back in the upper barn, which is where the goats are, and boy, that's nice, but only for light. So far, basically only for light, but eventually I'll be able to run a skill saw up there without running a long extension cord. So that has helped a lot. Paul helped to make that happen, that man that was helping me for a little while. Well, he'll probably be back. Piglets are going to be coming. I've got my neighbor's pigs here, 4 of them, and he thinks they're showing. I didn't see the boar breed them, which puzzles me, but he thinks that in spite of that, the gilts are showing. They've not had piglets before, and I am not really completely ready for that. I thought I had more time, but when he said, oh, I think they're showing, well, I'll probably lose some piglets, or we will too. But anyway, but in the midst of that, I continue to go on working on other things. The pigs are helping a lot with gardening. I will eventually write, or yeah, well, writing isn't my style so much as speaking, but I'll say much more about that. I've come to the point where I wonder, how could you really, without fossil fuels, how could you garden without pigs? And you might wonder about that, because you probably think, well, pigs, they just consume the waste that humans would need. No, it's much more than that. They do my plowing, my disking, my harrowing, my contour plowing. I think I've posted about that elsewhere. I'm not sure. And the trick is simply this. I have scratched sort of on the surface, scratched. I mean, 1 spade deep spade is the term. These contour ditches all over the farm. I'm sure a half mile of them, probably more than that, from 40 years back. They all had water running in them. But I neglected them. I couldn't get back to them. I didn't have time. I had other things to do. But I know where they are. I can see them. They're still scratches. And if I go along with a little bit of shell corn and just put the shell corn in those very curvy, perfectly level contour ditches, the pigs come right along and they eat the shell corn, and they dig there as well, and they enhance these ditches. So they're really helping me. There's more than I have time to explain right now. But anyway, I've decided I'm going to name these pigs, Josh's pigs, my neighbor's pigs. The big black one, that's Plow. And then there's Disc, and then there's Harrow. And then the boar I'm going to call Archie. And you might say, well, Archie, why Archie? Well, I think he has a lot of promise as an archaeologist. My little joke there. Hey, I think I'm going to tack on to the end of this a video of Plow, Disc, Harrow, and Archie at work shown from the porch. Bye for now.